Breakers.
Today we're Musou Warriors.
That's right.
We're gonna watch some Gundam Breaker. We're gonna play some Gundam Breaker.
I'm watching some Gundam Breaker.
Gundam Breaker, I believe, is actually a real anime. Or no, was it? There is a Gundam. Is it called Gundam Breaker? There's an anime that's about quite literally what this.
There's an anime called Gundam. Go look it up.
Yeah,
Just one.
it's kind of new. You know that the Gundam Origins is quite literally like. It's described as Gundam Season 1 if described by drunken Char while he like is talking about how badass he was.
I think I saw you tweeting about
It's
that.
quite literally that.
That's
it's just
too
like,
good.
Alright, so this is Gundam Breaker 3, Breaker Edition. Or Break Edition. So, this game's kind of hard to get. This is the Chinese version of the game.
Okay.
There is no American version of the game.
Really?
So in order to get a version that has English, this is the version you have to get. Which means you go to Play Asia, buy this game, there you go. Unless you can speak Japanese, in which case you can get a Japanese version. But, we're going to continue. We're going to press this circle button to continue.
Oh, yeah.
So, get used to that. Because X means no in Japan. And circle means that's it. There is no X marks the spot. That's not a thing. So, this is my guy.
Lobby.
Yeah, this is the lobby. All right. So it's got online multiplayer and all this bullshit. I can't speak on that because by the time I got this game, nobody was playing it, and also I can only connect to people that are local. I doubt anyone is really local. So I don't know if I should get into gameplay first or get into kind of what you do or the kind of the hook to this game. So this is about Gunpla, not about Gundam. So what I'm right now, this is a virtual reality world that my character, who has no face or whatever, no voice either, is in. So this is my character in the virtual world, and from here I can go to setup, and from here I can set up and create my Gunpla. Now I don't get super creative with these. I pretty much just do the standard. This is the set, but essentially.
Do you want to explain to the people what Gunpla is versus Gundams?
So yeah, Gunpla is it's essentially model kits for Gundam.
Right. You probably heard somebody talking about building Gunpla.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big hobby.
Yeah.
Even people who aren't that into Gundam or the series or the games.
I have many.
Right.
And I have only built a couple because they take too long. But essentially, I've been kind of collecting some of these and getting these up to snuff, but this is pretty much the only one that I have that's really good. The Golf Custom, which the Golf Custom is also the one that I've made. One of them that I made, I should say. But we're going to load this design right here. So, what you can do in this game is you can mix and match and do whatever the fuck you want. So, I want to go to Assemble, and I have all these parts. So the parts are separated into weapon,
Goodness gracious.
your head, body, arms, legs, backpack, shields, and then these builder parts, which are actually just, I have these things which just increase my stats, but you can actually put on like missiles on like shin guards if you want, and then those will actually be usable in the game. And then you have your abilities. These are the abilities I've chose with this particular Gundam, but we'll get to... And then there's your optional stuff. These optional slots will depend on your Gundam. So he can use the Heat Rod, which is a weapon that the Gulf can use. But the primary weapon of the Gulf is the Beam Saber, so that's why it's optional. A bunch of other Gundams are going to have different shit. So if you know enough about the Gundam you're kind of playing with, then you kind of know what this is. But essentially, if I go, hey man, this Golf Custom is pretty cool, but I want this Dragon Gundam head. You can just put that on. And then you can put that on, and then obviously you can change the color. The color that I'm currently using is not the Golf Custom color. This is actually my Char version of it. So it's got the bright red thing going on. But you can mix and match whatever fucking Gundam part you want. You can.
And there's a lot of them.
And there's a lot of them. There's too many of them. So. And to show you that, look at that. Look, you can put this dumbass head on there. Why not? You do whatever you want, man. Why don't we? Fucking. Oh, bruh. There we go.
Just take out half the torso.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. So these are this game can get pretty overwhelming pretty quick with this kind of stuff. I try to keep it pretty minimal, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with that. That's the gist of it. I don't know how much I want to get into it. Maybe I don't know how much money I have. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know how much money I have. Oh, that's not enough. I'll go maybe buy a Gundam and work on one to kind of show you what you can do. I should show you a little bit. So I don't want to work on this one now. So let me go back to setup. Hey, what's going on, man? So I'm kind of just showing off this game because a lot of people do not know what this game is. I'll do heavy arms. So heavy arms Gundam. We got this right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of show off some of the color customization. So I already showed that you can switch your weapons. Like I said, I can have this javelin if I want.
Good.
Why not? Which is definitely not the weapon that this thing used in the real anime. But yeah, if you want to. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you kind of how to merge stuff. So you have pair merge, plastic merge, and these other two, which are going to matter a whole lot less. But we're going to focus on these two. So plastic merge is pretty simple. I can take parts that essentially you can see all these stats in the center here. I can increase those or add new ones to, like for instance, induce knockback. I already have that, but this increases that, so I can, you know, whatever, I'll install that, but I don't have enough GP on hand, so I can't do anything. And then plastic by itself is going to increase the level, which you can see in the top right corner. There's plenty of stuff to do with that. And then there's pair merge, where you merge two items together. So the unique thing about this is that you can see on the left, they have different colors. Mm-hmm. This is their rarity. Mm-hmm. If you take, say, this right here, and I added it to my fist or whatever, that will actually increase the rarity. So you can see in the top left, it goes from exclusive to legendary. Okay. Legendary is the highest you can get. Once you get legendary, essentially every stat you can see at the bottom right here, it will increase your. You add 2 more abilities that you can add to what you're doing.
Right.
So
ability inheritance.
Right. So that means 2 more slots of abilities. But also when you take a weapon and merge them, you actually get all of the stuff that the other weapon has.
Oh, that's nice. That's handy.
Unless you have too many. In which case you have to pick and choose which ones you want.
Okay.
But you can use that, and also you can see the level increases too. So everything, it increases everything.
And it's like you can just sell it too, convert to GP.
You can sell any one of these items as well. All these items are sellable, which you're going to be doing a lot of once you're later in the game. Like me, I've beaten the game. I'm on my 4th playthrough now. So, because when you play through it the first time, that unlocks hard mode, and then once you beat it on hard mode, then that unlocks new type mode. So yeah, there's lots of.
It's a Musou game.
It's a Musou game. There's lots to play, and you start out with real grade and end up with master grade. If you don't know what that means, essentially, wait, is it real grade? No, high grade. Sorry, you start out with high grade and then you move up to master grade. The difference between those that's a quality of gunpla. High grade is like the cheap $15 to $20 stuff, and master grade is like your $30 to $60, $70 stuff. Essentially, they're just bigger and more detailed, and so your Gundams end up bigger and more detailed. So now we can go to paint, and this is kind of oops, I did the thing. Oh, I did the thing. Wait, which was it? That one? I usually have it labeled. It's not labeled. Oh, there it is. So we're gonna go to paint, and you can take your Gundam, and this is kind of the fun part, is you can take the, I'm gonna take this Gatling gun, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna make the barrel gold. Fuck it, and then I'm gonna make this part like flat white. And you can do all kinds of stuff with colors here. Obviously, these are the ones that are available, but you can. Good Lord. You can go here, and then there's all types of palette stuff you can do. I am colorblind, so I do not fuck with this at all. But it is an option you can do. I'm gonna make this end kind of pinkish, right? Yeah, fuck it. Actually, I kind of like that golden pink. And you can add different
Kinda goes
effects.
hard.
So you can do, you know, camos. They got dot camos, stripe patterns, checker patterns, leopard patterns. All these different patterns you can do, and you can add different colors to them. So you can mix and match that stuff. Like if I wanted to go, this thing's gonna be pink, black, and white.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna do it on something that I think is gonna be like show off a little bit more, like the body. So let's take this right here. We're gonna do. Do you want to do what kind of camo are we talking? Or stripe pattern, checker pattern, leopard pattern. Let's do leopard pattern.
Leopard pattern, hell yeah.
Leopard pattern.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna do. Just make it nice and simple.
Nice and simple.
Nice and simple. And then you can add metallic if you want it to shine a little bit more, right?
Uh-huh.
You can add some gloss. You can take away the gloss, make it a little bit more flat. Just to give you an idea. That's just the coloring stuff. Now let's go on to this stuff down here. So you can gloss it out, make it a little bit more pop or a little bit flatter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with metallic. This is what we talked about. But then there's washing, airbrushing, chipping, and damage. So washing essentially just kind of makes the darkers darker.
Yeah.
Airbrushing kind of accentuates that a little bit more, kind of adds a little bit more shading. So you can see kind of in pockets towards the body, you can see that gets a little bit darker right in those areas. So this is a really small detail that you won't notice. Chipping, pretty obvious. It's just paint being chipped away, so it looks like it's been through some shit.
Yep.
And then you can add some damage, which will add little scratches and dents and scars here. So, fuck it. We're gonna do this. We want airbrushing all the way up? Nah, we'll leave the airbrushing the way it is. This is also gonna be that same camo. Oops. Leopard print nonsense. And this is gonna be ridiculous.
The gaudiest Gundam ever made.
Essentially, that's what I'm going for. And this is gonna be gold. This is also gonna be gold. Gold. We're keeping it relatively simple here. Not changing too much with the. This is where the time elapse might happen. fucking ugly as shit. Alright, so that's the Gundam.
That's like.
So there you go. You
You
can make heavy arms ugly as shit. I didn't do the weapons because I'm probably not going to keep this. Anyways.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I won't.
Oh, yes, you are.
So now we can go back to setup. You can save your design. Try not to save over designs you don't want to save over because that shit's bad. Looks like a stripper. Intended. Alright, so now we're gonna load. We're gonna load the Golf because the Golf right now is my best one. We'll get into a mission now. So you have mission and you have arena. Arena, you can battle other people's stuff.
Okay.
And you can get stuff. Heavy arms is pretty dope. Heavy arms is pretty dope. So now we're gonna get into mission counter. So right now I'm playing on new type difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. So I can kind of show you what that looks like, I guess. I'll just do any mission. So these are all the missions in the game. If you want to know how long it is, it's this long. Oh yeah, these missions are long too. So, and then if you're like me and you get the break edition, you can toggle DLC, and now all these available.
Oof.
So there's that. Let me go ahead and just this mission will do. There's a story. Who cares? I don't remember what the story is. I finished Wing the other day. It was fun. Not sure if it's good or bad, but it was fun. Wing is I think generally considered like okay. I think there's good moments to it, but it's not the best Gundam. But you know, it's the one that hit the States, like, and got popular. So okay, so we're gonna take this Golf custom and we're gonna do it.
Let's do it.
I gotta hold it. Damn it. No, I don't want to do that. The button scheme in this game, a little weird. What console is this on? This is PS4. In order to get this game, I said earlier, in order to get this game, you have to order it from Play Asia, and you have to get the Chinese version. Because it never came to the United States. So this is the best version you can get. Alright.
Let's get it.
So, imagine Musou, but imagine Marvel Versus. So you have light attacks, you have heavy attacks like your standard Musou, but you also have a dash cancel.
Oh shit.
Which is what I'm doing to extend these combos. You also can shoot people with your gun, which mine just so happens to be a Gatling gun, so there's that. I'm taking some damage here, there we go. You can use R1 to block if you have a shield, which I do, but it only is available when I shoot my gun. So, and that's just this Gundam thing. You can see in the bottom right, there is a bunch of little abilities. So those abilities are you hold R1 and then you press a different button and do it. So X, this is just going to boost my defense, and you can see my health is regenerating much faster along with the rest of my team. But we'll show you what these other abilities do. So the one far left one is going to do this, and essentially that sets this thing and sucks them in. My other one does this.
Like an AoE thing?
Yep. And then I'm going to pull out double Gatlings and light them bitches
God.
up. Also, that staggers them. So there are a bunch of abilities in this game. There are ones that are specific to... So how you unlock them is... they're specific to whatever weapon you're using. So the reason why I can use a whip one is because I've already leveled up the whip ability.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's a dual blade one is because I leveled it up. And then they're available to everybody once you do that, even if you're not using the correct weapon. And there's swords, long swords, double-bladed swords, dual swords, spears, whips, fists, and melee. So there's a couple different types of melee as well. So there's fists, but there's also martial arts. There's...
Good lord.
So I should also mention, because I'm here doing this, all these parts that are dropping off, the Gundams are breaking apart and I'm getting their parts. So that's kind of how it's
Stealing
working.
that plastic.
Right. So you might notice that these guys have a little green bar underneath them. So this is their stagger bar. Once that's depleted, they can stagger, and their items will start to fall off more, and essentially do more damage or whatever. So right now, I activated with L3 and R3. I activated my super mode. These can be specific to Gundams, so I kind of mentioned that there are certain specific abilities you can get that are literally just like if you're using this type of Gundam, then you have like this ability. For instance, Unicorn, as a lot of people know that have seen Unicorn, it has an ability where it kind of goes into super mode, right? Mm-hmm. And that was my super right there I just used.
Okay, the big sword beam.
Yep. And that's a generic one. Everybody can use that. But Unicorn would kind of like pop all of its armor pieces off. Not off, but they kind of like open up or whatever.
Yeah.
And when they do that, it becomes more powerful or whatever. So that's something that you can only do with Unicorn Gundam. But because this game is a game where you can switch parts, there's usually only one part you need. So
For specific supers?
for specific supers or specific abilities.
Okay.
For instance, Heavy Arms.
Man, he's got a torch.
Heavy Arms. Heavy Arms has an ability where essentially, and if you've watched the show, you know that it has these chest plates and leg plates that open up and essentially shoot a whole bunch of fucking rockets, and it goes nuts, right?
Yeah.
So that ability exists in the game, and all you need is the chest plate to be able to do it.
Okay.
Of course, if you have the entirety of Heavy Arms, then you can just do it that way. But,
That looks sick.
right? And so I'll show you the optional equipment too. So when I hold the D-pad, I can switch my equipment. So I have a repair kit. You always should have that.
Yeah.
But I also have this heat rod. So now when I press circle, I'll use my equipment. So now I'll show you kind of what the heat rod moveset looks like.
Oh, that's like the whip one?
Yeah. This is a whip. So you can see that the whip kind of counts down. Like there's a little charge meter there.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they won't have a weapon like this, but they'll have mostly like their other armaments, their other guns. So like a lot of these Gundams will have head cannon stuff. So like
I see.
So a lot of times it's stuff like that. So you'll have other weapons like that. You can also build these. We showed you some of those abilities that like.
Shenlong Gundam. That's sick.
They have some of these abilities that are part of the parts, and one of them is optional weapon DPS and stuff like that, or like length or durability. So like this is all stuff. This is all stuff that you can.
Any questions?
I'm gonna kill this man right now. So when they're all broke like that, and it's just their torso, you can do the ground break, which will just automatically kill them.
Nice. They give you extra parts or something?
It gives you extra parts, and also, it just makes them instant killed.
Yeah. Coup de grace. Nice. Get some loot.
Yep. So every area is going to have. Oh, also your parts can break, and when they break, they kind of like have to be brought to you.
Oh.
So, for instance, if you lose your head, you can no longer lock on. If you lose your right arm, you can no longer use whatever weapon you're using.
Okay.
If you are dual wielding weapon, then you won't be able to dual wield. You'll only be using one. You can lose your shield arm. If you lose your legs, you just can't move. So, there's
So
stuff
you got
like
a
that.
teammate there. Can they help you bring your stuff back to you or anything like that?
No, it just automatically comes back to you. The teammates essentially are just kind of passive fighters that also
Okay.
can help you revive.
Okay.
Robata is a SD Gundam, and there's a few different SD Gundams you can pick from that he ends up being. And you unlock those throughout the game as well. Okay. So like I was going to do my ability right there, but I actually got stuffed out of it and lost my arm. So. And when that happens, you do lose your recharging the ability resets.
Okay.
So there's also elemental effects. So this sword that I have has electronic elemental effect, which means they're staggered. So see how he's electric right now? He can't move.
Oh shit.
So
full paralysis.
yeah, it's a paralysis one. There's also like flame and cryo and just a base damage one. I think there's what's it called? Not poison, but the equivalent to metal.
Like a bleed effect or something.
It's
or
not
like rust.
Rust. It's kind of like rust. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be a disintegrative thing. So those are some of the abilities, or the whatever you want to call it. Also, you can press L2 and you can aim.
Oh, that's cool.
And when you aim, your gun does double damage. So you can
Really?
see this guy will stop blocking. How about you? So that's doing 5,000 whatever. That actually tripled. I died because I wasn't paying attention.
No.
But this guy's gonna come up saving. Thanks you, Mr. Rabata.
Thank you.
And you get a couple retry things. So even if they don't save you, you can just retry. And when you retry, it resets all your optional stuff. So like as you can see, I'm kind of counting down here. I got 15 repairs left.
Yeah.
Once I'm out, I'm out. So
Okay.
sometimes it's better just to do the retry ticket. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, that does a lot of damage. Holy moly.
Also, if you X is how you jump, and then you can press it again to dash or whatever.
Okay.
R1 is if you tap it is a dodge. It uses, and you can see by my health bar, there's a little white boost meter.
Yeah, yeah.
So that counts down, but it recovers so fast that it almost never becomes a problem.
Okay.
Or I should say it recovers so fast that it never really becomes a problem. So these are all stuns, so now we're going to suck them in. And this is why I use this particular layout with this Gundam, because this shit is
That
ridiculous.
combo is insane.
And this guy can be ground broke. Oh, this guy? You bitch. So he got his legs before I got him, so...
Okay.
And that blue meter is their shield. Once that's gone, they don't have a shield anymore.
Okay.
And this is pretty much the basic moveset. There are some, like the whip is kind of different, the way that does stuff, but I'll show you guys right after this the spear, because I have another Gundam that's fairly good at, probably good enough to at least do some of these new type missions. Yeah,
You gotta
pretty
focus.
good.
You gotta focus.
Yeah, yeah. It like I said, this game is a Musou game, but it's like Marvel. It's like, imagine you know how they're like, what if Street Fighter you could just jump cancel everything? You like flew through the air and like could cancel in supers and do all this all. Like that's kind of what this is. It's like, what if we had a Musou game, but like you could just dash cancel everything? Like that's what I keep doing. I attack, dash cancel,
Yeah.
dash cancel, dash cancel, dash cancel. Like.
It looks so tight.
Right. It's super fast. Also, if you are insane like me and have considered, you can get this game on Vita and it's cross save.
Oh my god.
I have no idea how this game runs on Vita. I imagine.
Not great. It looks like it might be a little.
It looks like it'd probably be rough.
It's amazing because like there are with other. I mean, again, my expertise in these types of games is kind of low, but with only like there's only like 4 or 5 enemies on the screen, there's still so much happening.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
ability is like takes up the screen. It's
I'm gonna
incredible.
get rid of this guy because he's shooting the fuck out of me. Golden finger. I said golden finger, shining finger.
I liked it better. Get a lot of high quality hard plastic.
Oh my fucking body!
Ooh boy.
Do the thing, do the thing.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
So these are players. Whenever it like pops up and like shows a little cutscene. So if I go down during fighting these guys, then they will disappear.
Okay.
So I will lose the opportunity to get their parts.
Okay.
So and it doesn't matter if I die. I just have to go down, which is why I'm trying to keep my health up.
Wow,
because-
you were at literally 3 health.
Yeah, I looked over at chat for 1 second. So let's keep these bitches in the corner.
Good boy.
Pop that. Ooh, flame. I'm about to say somebody key attack.
Oh, those buttons. Oh, damn.
It's just my body.
Whew.
So there are different abilities that can help your survivability as well, besides just like increasing your health and increasing your defense. So there's like stuff that's like you get a certain amount of life per hit. There are abilities that give you life for breaking parts. There are things that give you life for killing enemies.
Yeah.
So there is ways to keep yourself up without having to constantly spend these repair things. And generally, I would say this game is not difficult until you get to new type mode.
Yeah.
Hard has its moments, but like for the most part, this game is not that tough. Especially if you're pretty familiar with Musou games, I wouldn't say it's. There's no Lu Bu in this game, I'll tell you that. So.
Goodness gracious.
I should also mention, when you go into this mode, all your abilities recharge faster.
Okay, cool.
Which is why I spend all of them and then activate it so that I can get them back again and use them once or twice. This guy does not want to go down.
Yeah, really.
Like I said, that stagger meter has to be depleted before I can do it. Nice.
The joints.
So I mentioned some of the weapons that you can do that are melee. So some of the weapons that you can do that are not melee. You have machine guns, you have Gatling guns, you have laser beams, you have long range beams, you have rockets, and you have dual weapons. I think that's it. Of course, there's optional equipment as well. So if there's characters or Gundams that you know, they have Vulcan cannons on their head, or they have this or that, then those abilities, you know, are available to you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Get off the bitch. If you
Are they getting healed? Are those red beams healers?
no.
Okay.
Also, I should mention, when you fight these players, when you kill them and they're down to the last one's health regens and he becomes overpowered. So now you'll see him over here. So now his health regen again. But that's okay because now it's 3v1. Means we can fuck on this guy. Oos.
Not yet.
Oos.
He thought.
So I'm just gonna shoot him and just deplete his stagger. So,
Oh my goodness.
things are going poorly for him.
He's made better decisions in his life.
He said, "Act."
Yeah.
So this is the. Oh, I missed it. There are infinites in this game. I'm gonna try to do the wall infinite. Just mash square. Pretty good. Of course, you have pseudo infinites because I can just dash cancel everything, and my boost recovers fast enough that I don't have to worry too much about.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Nice.
So generally, there are 4 areas to every thing. So I've been through 2 of them, just to give you an idea of how long this game can take. But it's a extremely fun game. The only problem is you have to really understand how to level your equipment pretty early on. Just because if there's Gundam items you want to keep and you want to level, you need to make sure that you're leveling them. If you're like me and are trying to platinum this game, you have to get at least one of every type of weapon and get all of those abilities and level all of them up. It does not take all that long, all things considered.
It sounds like it would.
Considering I have to play through the game at least 3 times, I think. Maybe, yeah, at least 3 times to get all the trophies that are just based in the missions. Mm-hmm. No, if I was smart about it, if I knew what I had to do coming into it, it wouldn't have been so bad. Okay. But I had to discover, you know, what works and what doesn't. And of course, I didn't get the Golf Custom until like mission 5 or 6 or something. So I wasn't even sure what Gundam I was gonna focus on until I discovered, oh yeah, Golf Custom, that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's a tough opponent.
Yeah, so these are not players. When it shows you that, that's not a player, I can go down and it's fine. But what that is the special Gundam, meaning this is a Gundam that, like, if you're trying to grind parts for instance, this is probably likely one of the few missions that are going to have it.
Okay.
So
certain Gundams only pop up in certain missions then?
yes. Okay. Matter of fact, that's pretty consistent throughout. Break that shit. So the Banshee is a Gundam from Unicorn. Mm-hmm. So if you want the Banshee, you're going to have to do that. So there's 2 ways you can get Gundams. One is to simply get all the parts for one, which you can do this way by grinding it this way. Or you can... I think I killed them both, yeah.
Holy moly.
Or you can get... Once you get all the parts for one type of Gundam, they'll be available in the shop to buy for either master grade or high grade. Thing is, when you do that, you're buying like low level / they're probably all base, like.
And you then have to grind them up.
Well, you can simply parts merge is the fastest way to do it. So you can part merge to get them like to legendary like right away if you have like stuff that, you know, other legendary what do you call it? Other legendary parts that you're not trying to use. You can put those in and you bitch. And yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna retry if this guy doesn't pick me up. So there's little downside to retry tickets. So if you're like me and was out of fucking heals, you're probably better off just not wasting your time just getting the heal. So this game came out years ago now, so if there are any Gundams that are kind of newish, I can't think of any that aren't in this game. The only ones that were like not in this game were the ones from Iron Blooded Orphans, but they're in the DLC. So those would be the ones that if you really want, you know, your, what's it called, Barbossa Gundam or whatever the fuck. If you wanted those, they are available. God damn it, you fucking bitches! If you don't die right now, and I can dash cancel that. So why not? These guys are kind of a fucking problem.
They don't know what to think right now.
They certainly don't. Bye-bye. Dash cancel.
It really does look like Marvel combos.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. This game of all the Musou games I've played has the most crazy combos.
That's insane.
And this is a Musou game. You know, you can argue that it's not, but come on, man, you're fighting, you know, about 100 items or, you know, hundreds of enemies. Maybe not hundreds. You're not on the same level, but you're kind of fighting dozens and dozens and dozens of enemies. Sometimes at a time.
The one versus the many type.
Yeah. You're not you know, killing hordes of hundreds, but you are killing groups of tens. So infinite. Gotta get a good angle. It's a good angle.
Nice.
No.
Oh, what a bitch.
Fucking ruined it.
Should cancel level 3, bro.
Yeah, no, man. It was my level 3.
It's a good one.
Bitch.
That man melted.
Yeah. So there are certain enemy types I should mention too. So usually, per of these groups that are spawning, there are 3 enemies, or 3 Gundam types I should mention. So there's usually the weak one, the one that stays from afar and shoots,
Yeah.
and then the stronger one. So the one that's staying from, the one that usually stays back and shoots, which is this one right here, usually just melts. They have like no health at all.
Yeah.
But you have to like break from combat to go and get them. The ones that are usually stronger, these are the ones with the shields, and then usually you'll have one without a shield that is considerably weaker than the other one, but not quite as weak as the guys that just do ranged attacks. So there's those that yeah, make sure nobody else dies though.
Good to keep track of your homies there.
It helps too, just because if someone goes down, that becomes a problem. Because you're gonna end up having to save them, and that takes time, and you gotta break free from combat, and you also can get hit while trying to do that.
Okay.
So it's just smart to pay attention to it. I have a healing ability that you can see their healing is increased right now.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have that equipped on every Gundam. I like having at least one extra heal ability.
Yeah.
And that, like I said, that affects both me and them. My body.
That was a giant dash. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's actually just my attack.
Oh really?
So yeah, the attacks lock on. So if I do this, it just flies right out.
Okay.
And then my triangle, same thing. So that's why I dash back and then press square and I just go right towards it.
Okay.
And also, I should mention the button layout is pretty much the same as the Musou game is. With the exception of circle, instead of being your Musou attack, is instead a your optional equipment usage.
Okay. You said your X is jump?
X is jump, which is park, of course.
A lot of damage. Goodness gracious.
It's also like Marvel because I don't let my opponent play. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. But like I said, this is one mission, and we've been going for
45 minutes.
well,
no,
yeah, we were working on stuff for
Yeah.
probably 15 or 20.
Yeah.
But one mission takes 20 minutes. You can 25 minutes. You know.
Yeah.
There are shorter types of missions. There are ones that are just boss fights. There are ones that are I can't remember what they're called, but essentially you're guarding your grid or attacking theirs, and essentially it's players that pop out, and there'll be like 2 or 3. So a new player, enemy player approaches. Oh boy. So I have it to skip those cutscenes because I've seen them too many times. But essentially, this is going to be a problem. I don't know how I got away with it. Really focus here.
Nice dodge.
So, and I still have probably the boss. I don't know if there's a boss at the end of this. Well, there usually is a boss, but I don't know if it's a boss or just like a big. Actually, it'd be cool if I can show you the. So, for Gunpla, because you don't know this, there's high grade, real grade, master grade, and perfect grade.
Okay.
So, high grade is the low end, small stuff. Usually, is about 4 inches tall, not very big, right?
Okay.
Master grade is real grade is the same size but way more detail than
Okay.
high grade, and tend to be actually more expensive than master grade. Master grade is about 6 to 8 inches tall, depending on the Gundam size, because they're per scale.
Right.
So some Gundams are bigger than others, just generally. And so in this game, you can play as high grade and master grade. But perfect grades do exist. And so perfect grades are giant 12-inch models.
Jeez.
So essentially, you fight giant fucking models of Gundams.
Okay.
And those are typically bosses. The way you fight them is a little different from the rest. It's not the funnest part of the game, in my opinion, but it is a way to break up the encounters a little bit.
Okay. Is it just like a gigantic grind, I'm assuming?
It takes a while, and there's maybe only 3 or 4, probably like 4 different perfect grade Gundams.
Okay.
Which is par for the course, considering there's not a lot of perfect grade Gundams even in real existence.
Right.
Because those ones are hundreds of dollars, and not a lot of people are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on something that's also going to take up a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
So, and oh, it's been status quo. Bank. And what we'll do here is we'll start another mission after this. I won't go too long into it, but just to show you another moveset.
Okay.
And then we can do the thing we've been planning on doing.
All right.
Which is Shadow of the Colossus if you're watching my channel. Please.
Nice plug. Ooh. Guard breaks?
Yes, you can stagger. Even when there are stagger meters up, you can totally stagger them. It's just, you gotta work a little bit harder.
Bring them all in.
Yeah, that's the idea. Full purpose AoE is kind of what I use this particular build for. You can do the other build that I'm going to be using is going to be purely closing range and for closing range and for just pure burst damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show you that Gundam here next and kind of what it can do.
They just hang on, don't they?
Yeah. So this is where we can just cheat them. This is the benefit.
This shit.
This is the benefit of the Gatling gun. It
Yeah.
just fucking doesn't stop shooting. What a bitch.
Yeah, keep talking shit.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Oy.
And he's breaking up.
Yeah, I just need to take his arm.
Oh my goodness.
What causes what to break up? I honestly don't know. I think it's just random.
Okay.
But I'm not for certain about that. There might be a way to like particularly target certain parts. I don't really know though.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was like a Monster Hunter thing where you can like target like the tail or the horns or whatever.
Not that I know of. So this looks like it's not going to be a giant Gundam battle. The perfect grades. So that's fine. We're going to have to kill a few of these, and then we're going to get some Gundams that pop out of their box. And we're going to take those out. Also, I guess for the story, what's happening is that it's a virtual world, and essentially we're in an arcade, and this is the arcade game that we are playing. We are playing as the Gundam pilots. Which is a completely believable concept for for the future. Like this probably will exist in some fashion before we are dead. So
Fingers crossed.
Right. So whether it's an arcade game or just a game that you can play at home, whatever.
Yeah.
Once VR finally gets to that level. But so that's essentially what this is, and you guys are trying to be the best. Nothing much more to it. Misa is your friend that you made while playing this game, and you guys are just doing your thing. That's essentially it. Nothing crazy. My pizza's here. Hopefully my uncle can get that. Sounds like he is. Cool. So after I kill this guy, it should give.
Not just dashes, but triangle dashes.
Yes, we're doing tri-dashing. We don't box dash here. We got full-blown 360 movement. Okay, so that dropped the final one. So these are the final guys, and it's one of my favorite Gundams. So I'm gonna try and get. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that Gundam, the GPO-2A, was literally designed to be a mobile nuke launcher.
Really?
So that's why it's the shield that it carries is gigantic, and the rocket launcher it carries is gigantic because it's literally meant to shoot nukes and it's meant to be able to survive the shooting.
Right.
So that shield it's holding is like literally as thick as a Gundam, and it's just a pure sheet of metal.
Yeah.
This is Gundam sick. Gundam's ridiculous.
And you're about to get fucked up.
Alright, so I might be able to actually kill a few of them. I need to get the one that's in the ground. This becomes a problem when there's too much shit happening.
There's always too much shit happening.
Alright, got one.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
This guy, I don't even face. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that shit.
I got this dick. Alright.
Fucking. I knew that's what you would have went with.
Alright, thanks. Yeah. You didn't think I'd do it live? Come on.
Yeah. Yep.
What I got to worry about?
You're gonna demonetize, bro.
I'm gonna get demonetized to talk about my good dick. You ain't heard about my good dick? Ask about me. Kill this man! I'm so high!
Ah!
Goddamn nuke. I do want to actually create this Gundam because I do want to use the nuke.
That would be too sick.
Stop it.
Your pilot's like, ah!
Sick as fuck throwing up in the arcade. Bitch!
Ah! Ugh.
Don't do it!
Can you shield that or no?
I highly doubt it. Oh my god, look, you can see the fucking shots. Uh-oh. Let's get rid of this bitch. Will you stop being a bitch? Oh my goodness. You bitch. Unfortunately, they're all like the same health, so
Yeah.
except for one of them. So I try to focus the ones that have lower health. Like I said, this sometimes takes a minute.
I can tell.
They are kind of bullet spongy, and like I said, this Gundam's leveled all the way up. I imagine certain Gundams and certain weapons and stuff just have more damage than others. So I don't know for certain if that's true, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume it probably is.
It seems like a safe assumption. Ooh.
I need all of you fucking die.
Ugh. Good
There's
lord.
only one left. Stop hitting it, you
Oh.
fuck.
He's trying to help.
This game is also multiplayer. Like, you guys can play levels together, but obviously you need people that play the game,
And
which
bought it
in
from
the
China.
United States is few and far between. I mean, this isn't the first game where people have had to buy the Chinese version. It was the same thing with, you know how Project Crosszone exists?
Yeah.
They have the exact same thing, but with Mecha series.
Really?
Yes. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it. But it's the exact same thing. It does not come out in the United States, but there are a bunch of Chinese versions that have English translations.
Okay.
So Because of that, you can buy it on Play Asia and get them. Ooh, there's legs break now.
You want to see how to do a fucking infinite? Nice.
And that's one mission.
That's a mission. Alright.
It took a minute, but we're here. Started from the bottom. So, okay. So this is just letting me know, like, hey, the SD Gundam leveled up. It's fully leveled. Now this is an ability you can use. So that's cool. So this is where you can go through all the stuff that you want to keep. Now, early on, what you keep is up to you, but I'm just going to keep the stuff that is like higher rank so that I can rank shit up that needs to be ranked up when I buy parts. But I'm not going to bother with any of this basic shit. It's all going in the gutter.
It's all going to become GP.
Yep. And if you want to, you can get certain items just to build certain Gundams to get them to that point. So it's like if I want to build a Blitz Gundam, I'm going to take this part, I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And also when you're... See how it's got a little label next to it?
Yeah.
So you can label these, and I really recommend doing that just so you don't accidentally sell the thing that you need or accidentally merge the thing that you need. Because you're going to be pissed when you do that. One of my Gundams that are created literally doesn't... I always take this stuff. There's no reason not to. And the hard plastic you can take... Well, plastic you'll take early on, but once you're at my point, you can probably just sell it. And now I have 91,000 GP.
You started with like 900 today.
Yep. That's just based off that. So now I'm going to convert all the GP, and that's an extra 31,000.
Damn, son. Sick nasty.
And that's on top of the money you earn just for beating the mission, which was 50k. So you can earn at new type quite a bit. So now we're going to go over to the store. And essentially, originally you start with only high grade, but then you get the emoji Gunpei Dio. And then once you get the emoji Gunpei Dio, you can buy a Gundam. This is new, so that means I got enough parts to where I can actually buy it.
Yeah.
This is also new, so there you go.
Damn.
And that's kind of how you unlock these Gundams. If you want the full-blown kit, you can do that. Obviously, they vary in price. You know,
Expensive.
They're expensive, but like I said, I earned almost 200k in one.
Yeah.
So another mission, I'll have enough to buy one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll show you the SD gun stuff too. So SD selection. These are all the SDs. There's one that I'm missing. I think I have to probably level these all the way up. But once they get starred, you get an ability for them. That essentially is another ability you can use. I don't know how good they are. I usually don't use them, honestly, because I'm too busy leveling ones that I don't have.
Right.
So yeah, and then you can also paint these if you want to go nuts. Like I think, yeah, I painted that one.
Oh, that's sick.
Because that was the original color that I went with. Was this like kind of gritty snow camo? For me. So I'll just start whatever. So I guess I can mention too. You can see that has an exclamation point. That means you can see on the enemy list there's a bunch of Gundams there that parts you can gain. When there's an exclamation point, that means there are Gundams that are not usually there that are there.
Okay.
So if you look and go, oh shit, I really want fucking this Gundam, like whatever the fuck it is. I want the GM2. Now you can get it. But sometimes when there's exclamation points, you'll be like, oh, this Gundam that I don't have, I can get that one, or whatever. So we'll we'll start mission. So this particular Gundam uses a rifle, a long rifle, and fuck, I'm stupid. God, it uses a long rifle and a spear.
Some of those weapons look so sick.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not familiar with Gundams, this is a decent way to get familiar with them. At least the Gundams themselves, not obviously the shows. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, start.
A hell of an arsenal.
Funny enough, this Gundam is based off the literal Musou game.
Really?
Yes, this is the Dynasty Warrior Gundam.
Is that like canon to this game, or is this from a show too?
It's not from a show. It's literally from Dynasty Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors game.
Mm.
Because there was Dynasty Warriors Gundam 1 through 3, and then Reborn. But you know, because they were like, hey, well, since we made this fucking Gundam, I died like me. Because since we made this fucking Gundam, why don't we, I don't know, make a gunpla of it? We've already did the design for the game, and we own the rights to it, so why not? Pick me up, bitch. All right. So, you can sort of see the spear, obviously, like kind of a slower attack rate, but like fuck tons of damage.
Dan on the phone with his mom.
But then this is the real shit. Look at this.
Oh my god. What do you do? What do you do?
Hope I run out of ammo. About it.
So was that like a launcher?
Well, it does a shit ton of damage, and so it pops up like that, and you can see how this is supposed to be a harder enemy. I'm just shredding it. So this is an ability. Oh, well, I was gonna do it. Boop. Boop.
Good lord.
So yeah, you guys see. Generally, I mean, the gameplay doesn't change too much with this shit. Woos! You bitches. Give me my arm. Generally, the gameplay won't change dramatically when you change, but like, for instance, I use the gun a lot more with this particular Gundam because holy fuck, it does a shit ton of damage. And also, the abilities I do are also gun related. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too far into it, just to show you that your gameplay does change a little bit, but not super dramatically. Maybe it would if there were certain types. I've played the spear, the dual-sided blades, the whip, and the single blade. And honestly, the dual-sided blades is probably the most different.
Really?
Apart from that, they're all pretty much the same. So that's this game.
Gundam Break.
Gundam Breaker 3 Break Edition. If you want to get it at PlayAsia. If you don't want to get it, thank you for watching. But this is Musou Warriors and
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Versus hopefully many.
Hopefully many. I have plenty of Musou games to talk about. So.
Sure does.
So, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna head out. Later.